right, guys, welcome back to another episode of the Balanced Boss Mom podcast. As you heard, I did a sigh because today we are having a wonderful, wonderful conversation. So, we are going to be having this honest conversation about motherhood, entrepreneurship that we always talk about, identity healing, and what it looks like to build a life that feels a line of constant overwhelmingness. So, for me, today has been very, very overwhelming. It's the struggle of the juggle. So that's the topic for today. And for anyone who's feeling like juggling 1,000 roles, like whether you're a mom, a dad, a brother, a sister, a friend, a coworker, and you're juggling all these roles, this conversation is for you. Because the truth is we're not balancing schedules. We are balancing identities, balancing rejections, expectations, of course, that we're balancing. And we're also balancing what is needed within our identity. As I stated, this title of this conversation is The Struggle of the Juggle Navigating Business, Family, and Identity. I am so excited to welcome our guest, Marshall. Marshall brings a powerful perspective into conversations about identity and purpose, not only bringing that emotional realities behind the roles we carry. This is one of those episodes that feel for everyone is trying to hold it all together. Please note, you don't have to hold it all together because I'm not holding it all together today. But for anyone meeting you for the first time, Marshall, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Erika. It's great to be here.
I was just rambling, but I'm glad that you're here.
It's taken a few tries, right? We have our struggle of juggles. We had struggle of technology, booted me out right before we pressed record. So it's all the struggles, juggling this, juggling that. But it's good to
Yes,
be here.
I can finally let out another sigh and kind of breathe because it's been a struggle all day today. So, for those that are new into the podcast or in reference to this podcast episode, I would love to learn a little bit about your story. So, can you share with those who you are, where you're from, what's your favorite things that you like to do? Maybe what's your word of the year for 2026?
Mm,
I got you on a different
okay.
struggle of the juggle.
You got me. You got me. Okay. So let's reverse. Let's go backwards.
Let's go
My
backwards. Okay.
so I've got two. I have a phrase for the year. Actually, I had a phrase for the year, and someone in one of the programs I'm in, one of the masterminds I'm in, had me break it into a word. Ice
Mhm.
bath. Ice bath.
Ooh.
Okay. Everyone's okay, let's talk
Ooh.
about it. So
Right.
my phrase for the year was to become comfortable being uncomfortable.
I've been telling people that a lot lately about being uncomfortable.
Yes. So someone said, why don't you use the word ice bath? Which is ironic, Erika, because when I go to the gym, I like to go swimming.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not an ice bath, but one of those cold plunges, those cold
Mm-hmm.
pools. And people are doing it all the time. And it's freezing, obviously. So
Yeah.
that I said to the person on the call, I said, when she said ice bath, I'm like, boom, that's it. Tonight, after I go swim, hot tub,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going in to the ice bath or the cold plunge. I'm uncomfortable with it, but I'm comfortable. I'm just going to do it. And so I did it. So, but that's for the year. And I recommend that for everyone who wants to be more, achieve more, is to become comfortable being uncomfortable if it's moving them towards something that they truly want, whether it's in their life, personal life, or their business, relationship, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Then take that cold plunge.
Take
If
that.
it's not like I'm scared of heights, okay,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going on the whatever. I'm in Canada, so we'll get to that. The 5 meter, whatever that is in Imperial talk, like the big diving boards. I'm not doing
Mm-hmm.
that because I'm scared of heights, and I'm not going to become comfortable being uncomfortable doing that because it's not going to move me forward. It won't do anything except for freak the heck out of me. So
I
that's it.
can I can see being uncomfortable without
Yeah,
totally being comfortable. I think that's what I'm doing for this year because my word of the year is alignment.
I
So
love it. I love it.
anything that is aligned with whether it's the podcast, whether it's outside of the podcast with work. I'm becoming more aligned with it.
Yes. Heck yeah. And that's where I would have to say, if you're going to take the ice bath phrase and become comfortable being uncomfortable, as long as it is what you just said, in alignment. And that's when I coach and mentor. I coach and mentor business owners and entrepreneurs.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily the same. That's why I say business owners and entrepreneurs, because not every business owner is an entrepreneur.
That is very true. And not every
And
business
not
is meant for an entrepreneur.
right. Exactly. And not every entrepreneur actually has a business. But if you, one of the things is I'm very clear on the business, even in a career, has to be in alignment. If you're not in alignment, it's just not going to work out. You're going to be miserable. You won't achieve what you want to achieve. There's going to be conflict constantly. And same thing in relationships, partnerships, everything we do as human beings.
Even
friendship, everything, community, be in alignment.
So yes, that is my word for 2026. I almost said 2025, but we're done with 2025 for the year.
And Erika, it's already like, I don't know when this is coming up, but when we record this, okay, we're already 1 month done. So by the time when this comes out, I don't know where we're going to be, but it's like the year's going to fly by.
And this is going to be an awesome conversation to have because we're struggling without juggling, so to speak. So what led you to the work that you do, like in this season, in this life? What led you to helping out entrepreneurs and helping out business owners and just align with everything with entrepreneurs and businessship?
Okay, so I'm going to give you I'll try to make this short. I told you I could talk. Okay, I'm going to try to make this short. I'm an introvert, but get me talking about this stuff, leadership, which is what I'm passionate about, business growth, all that, family. Okay, I just keep going.
You can give me the long version.
I'll give you the long. Your listeners, I don't want them to turn off. Like, I just want them to. Okay, and they're all juggling. They're probably listening or watching, and they're like doing the dishes and doing this and doing that and feeding their kids. Okay, so long story short, so I had another business which I started 1994, a long time ago. It was a sign and printing graphics company. I sold it 2 years ago. I had it for 29 years, and it never fulfilled me. At the beginning, it did. It was exciting, but there was something missing. And I had a team and loved my people. One of the guys was with me for 25 years. I really built a strong team. And the business allowed me the opportunity, allowed me the freedom to, the one thing it did do was, it allowed me to have the freedom to spend time with my kids, and to change the diapers, to come home early, to take my kids for a walk, to be at the soccer practices, the dance recitals, all this stuff. Me and all the moms and nannies, and maybe the odd dad. Right. But I was pretty much it. So it gave me that freedom. But the thing is, and I didn't struggle with the juggle, to be honest with you. Okay. I wrote a book in 2008. I had my business. I was involved in the community. I had my 2 young kids. I was doing it. I was what you would say living the dream. There were other things I was juggling with. And one of them was passion. And I had lost the passion for my business. It had, that point, it was like 13 years or 14 years in the business. And I went to Oprah. Oprah came to our, so I'm in Canada. No. I didn't go to, yes, but it wasn't Oprah. My wife's, we got to go see Oprah, the Oprah show. We have to go to the Oprah show. We never went. But Oprah decided to.
No, don't do that. Don't shock me like that. You didn't go to Oprah?
Didn't go to the Oprah show. No. I know. Have you been?
I've been to Chicago. I mean, I'm from there, so
okay. Yeah. So we never went. I went to Chicago finally 2 years ago. Okay. Amazing city. But yes. However, Oprah was done. So, but she came I'm in Canada. So she came to Vancouver, and she spoke. And I remember her saying, oh, quick backstory. So I started searching for what I was passionate about. All these books
Mhm.
started coming out about this is not really struggle to juggle necessarily, but it is because I was juggling internally inside.
Mhm.
And so I took this passion test, and I took this, and I read this book and that book, and I kept
Mhm.
thinking, what am I passionate about? And so I saw Oprah, and Oprah said one of the first things she said when she came out on stage, and she was like this big because we were up like way high up, but luckily they had a big screen because looking at her live was like she was like this big,
Mhm.
and she said she believes that our true purpose in life,
Mhm.
okay, we are born, everyone's born with a purpose. And their purpose is to find out what their purpose is and to live it. She says, if you can monetize your purpose,
Mhm.
great. But everyone has a purpose, right?
Mhm.
God has given everyone a purpose, right?
Right.
Which I've heard before, but the way she said it had me thinking. So I went on this journey of really digging down deep.
Mhm.
This opportunity came up in 2011. I joined, I'm not sure if your listeners are familiar with John Maxwell, who's a leadership guru, especially in the US and up here in
Mhm.
Canada and throughout the world. And I joined his team because it hit me. That was my, again, I'm doing an Oprahism, my aha moment. He opened up this program, and it was to become one of his, basically continue his legacy, being
Mhm.
a coach, leadership coach, speaker, and teacher. And so that's what I did. And I've been doing that ever since. It's under my umbrella. It's my way, um, my experiences, but I do use a lot of what John talks about on leadership. And I don't even really know what your question was, but that is what, that's where I was no longer, the juggle continued though. I was no longer searching. That was my
Mhm.
purpose. Because before my real purpose in life, my family, hands down,
Hands
number
down.
one. But I'm not going to monetize my family. I mean, I could try to sell off my kids, but why would I want to? Right. So it was my family's number one. And
Mhm.
then this hit me. And it's like, this is what I'm meant to do. This is why I'm here. And it made sense because even growing up, I was always a mediator. I was always the stable one in my family. And friends would
Mhm.
come to me. Everyone would come to me for advice. So I guess I had it within me. And now this is what my business is. And then, but I did juggle. I had the struggle of the juggle of having both businesses for a while until I sold my sign business so I could actually focus 100% on doing this. And that is helping business owners grow their business to what they want and live their life the way they want it rather than the way
Mhm.
society tells us.
Where we have to work 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, be on somebody else's clock, and then we wish that we weren't on somebody else's clock, pretty much.
For some people, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because
It's
that's
not,
something that I'm trying not to be anymore.
yeah. So okay, so if in alignment, so for you, what is your big vision for yourself that's in alignment?
Uh, that's a good question. You're flipping it back on me. Oh man. Well, I think my vision is I want to be spending more time with my kid, obviously, because she tells me I work too much. And that really humbled me when I found out that I didn't think I was working too much, but I'm like, you have to, you don't understand in your little mind. I have to work to pay the bills, and you don't understand what a bill is just yet. So in my mind, I'm saying I'm not working too much. But when she said that to me, she made me feel very. Um, I appreciated that she came to me about that, how her honesty was, and it humbled me to the fact where I was like, okay, I get it. I need to spend more time with her because she's getting older and life is flashing, and
Hmm.
her birthday's next week. And before you know it, she's going on 8 and then turning 18. And then I'm be like, you're at the nest, you're flying, you're gone. So for me, it's being more present, having more attention with her, spending more time with her. Myself individually as a whole, I'd rather not work for anyone anymore. I've I've done it since I was 13.
Hmm.
So I'm at the point where I want to work for myself, have my own hours, look out for me a little bit more. Not so much doing the whole 9 to 5 routine because I keep battling on um wanting more, and the expectations when I'm in the job that I'm in, and the expectations is not being met. And so now it's getting to the point where those expectations are not being met, and it's circling back around on, all right, I've been here for almost 3 years. It's time to start looking again. And I'm starting to get that itch again to where I'm like, I'm ready to look for something else because it's still not meeting my expectations.
Yeah. So, okay, I'm not sure who your listeners are. I'm assuming a lot of them are going to be moms,
They are.
business owners, career people, people who are
Yeah.
trying to juggle it
Even
all, right?
dadpreneurs.
That's awesome. Okay, I like that. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
it's called the Balanced Boss Mom Podcast. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I want to break a myth first of all,
Okay.
because I hear this from people. I just want work life balance. I'm going to call it BS because there's no such thing. And I know for women, so I have to say this because me not being a woman, okay,
Okay.
uh, I don't want people watching this saying, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He's a guy, he doesn't get it. I do get it because 90% of my clients are women, and many of them do have young families. Plus, I'm married to one. Okay. So I know that they're different. Men and women
Mm-hmm.
are different. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but here's the thing, striving for work life balance is a lot of pressure, and it's just not possible in a given day or in a given week. So some weeks, sure. Some days, sure, there will be a little bit more balance.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so much pressure for us to put upon ourselves, especially for moms, to
Mm-hmm.
have to be everything to everyone and themselves, and to have that
Mm-hmm.
balance.
Mm-hmm.
Most moms, especially if you're now, well, moms who aren't working, like stay-at-home moms who aren't working
Mm-hmm.
and no business,
Mm-hmm.
probably not a lot of balance, is there? Because they're
Right.
probably taking care of like young families. I'm talking about young.
Yeah, taking care of their child when they're, the newborn stage. Yeah.
So, and then if you throw a job into it or a business into it, now some days you're going to have to work more hours. And there's the balance is going to be that way. Some days you're going to have to work less. You can work less hours, and then you can spend more time with your family. So it's balanced that way. It's tipping
Mm-hmm.
that way. At the end of your life, hopefully at the end of a month or 2 months or 3 months, you've had more balance.
Mm-hmm.
But in any given day or week, it's just not feasible to constantly have that work life balance. And people
Mm-hmm.
put so much pressure on themselves for that.
But why is it so much? I'm not going to say pressure. Why does it make it? Why these big corporations? I would have to say is I'm starting to see it for myself as like a number. Like you see me as a number. You're not seeing me as like a individual person, or you're not even seeing the next coworker as an individual person. You're seeing it as a number. So
Yeah.
like you said, the work life balance is kind of BS because you can't really have that all together.
Well, there's some companies out there that are really good with offering more of a balance. So
Mm-hmm.
they have some companies out there serious. Some companies you work for them, they have daycare set up, which would be great. They have like parents' day or whatever. Like they're or your kids are sick, no worries. You just work from home, or you don't
Mm-hmm.
even just take the day off, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Whereas other companies, yeah, sorry, what's your name, Erica? Oh, I don't know what department you're in. Just get
Mm-hmm.
your job, get the report to me by tomorrow at whatever,
Mm-hmm.
right? They don't care. They just want your employee number 525 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's corporate. So what do we do about it?
Make changes.
How do we make changes? What's the changes?
Mm, I've noticed for myself, I'm starting to take more time off
Okay.
where I used to not take the time off because it never, every time I would take the time off, it gets denied. So now I'm kind of like, okay. I see this. See one person, they got their time off. They've gotten Christmas, New Year's, all the holidays off. And I finally kind of said, I said, you know what? I'm just going to take spring break off with my daughter. What's the worst that can happen? They're going to tell me no. And of course, they got approved because I was like, thank
Hmm.
you, God, I need a break. I'm ready
Yeah.
for a break. And I feel like I'm getting to that peak where being in the corporate kind of world of things, it's not fulfilling me anymore.
Okay, I have a question for you. What would fulfill you? What would you like to do?
Well, honestly, I would like to be in the field that I'm getting my bachelor's degree in, which is
Mm,
healthcare administrations.
okay.
And in healthcare administrations, I want to get in the field where I'm able to see the action, like the clinics, like behind the scenes in the clinics, in the hospitals and all of that, just to get my feet wet to see what what else is out there besides being in the on the phones all the time for customer service. Like I want to be in, like, I've been told I can do management positions.
Hmm.
And I'm like, okay, well, I'm working all this way up to management positions, but I get ahead 10 feet, like we'll say 10 feet forward, 20 steps backwards. I get right knocked back down. And it's kind of like, well, you want me to try out for this position, but then you want to yank it from me.
Hmm.
And that's frustrating.
Okay. So the question is, like for all of us,
Mm-hmm.
doesn't matter if you're in a career or business, relationship, you use the word alignment.
Mm-hmm.
We all deserve the best. We all deserve to be in alignment and be where we want to be and where we are valued,
Mm-hmm.
relationship wise, work wise, business wise, um, client wise, even with clients, if you had your own business, right? So I only work with people that I'm in alignment with.
Mm-hmm.
So for you and just for your listeners as well, is use your word, take your word and live it. Okay. But
Mm-hmm.
also take my word of the year. Okay. So ice bath and alignment.
Mm-hmm.
Do it scared. Do it anyway. Figure out what's in alignment for you. Now, we have bills to pay. I get it. Okay. So if you, let's say, want to open up your own business, I'm not saying quit your job, open up the business tomorrow because you have bills to pay.
Used to have, and that's the frustrating part, is because it's like I am I've been working in customer service, like I said, since I was 13. So I know different types of roles of customer service. But now it's kind of like you said, do it scared. Like with this podcast, I didn't think it would fulfill me the way that it has, in a whole different meaning. Like
Mm,
I enjoy it. It's like it makes me happy. It really does. And it makes me happy to have different walks of life come on and be like, you know what? This was really a cool conversation and we can continue this afterwards. Or I want to come back onto the podcast. And I did this off of the strength of a vision board.
mm,
And I helped my mom with her podcast called It's All Mental, and I helped her with like the behind the scenes things, like the graphics and things of that nature. So I knew a little bit about podcasting, but when that night for me, where I was dead in my sleep and I totally forgot that my phone was next to me,
mm.
and I woke up out of my just randomly out of my sleep, and I put my phone in and I said, I'm just gonna record it, and what's gonna happen. I did it scared for the first time. That was something that I did that I was like, well, people may not like it, people will like it. And now it's turned out to where people actually keep returning. And I'm like, okay, well, what am I saying that you guys are keep returning to? And they're like, Erika, you're having conversations that not a lot of people are having.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
appreciate you having these conversations. So I'm doing it scared for the first time. And, it's only about to be a year for this podcast. And I hope it lasts a lifetime, 3, 4 years with this podcast. But like you said, do it scared. and I'm glad that I'm taking a lot of risk in 2026 versus um I don't think about receiving the reward behind it. That's not my intention. But to have the risk of factor that I did it and people are like, "Girl, this is a hit." And now I've even wrote a
Mhm.
book for the first time.
Wow.
It's
Okay,
it's
so there you like that's awesome. I mean, here's good for you. Here's the thing: people don't understand. Like, podcast is not easy. So I launched my podcast also. I'm coming up to a year. The Stern
mhm,
called it, it's the Stern Truth, Business Unfiltered, and we have the
mhm,
same type of conversations with business owners. Right? It's
mhm,
raw. It's real. No BS. It's about the ups and downs and challenges. And I mean, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. But I get to meet amazing people.
mhm.
Right? And if it wasn't for my podcast, we'd have never met you. Okay. Because I reached out. I work, as I said, like I do work with, like, why is a guy on a mom podcast?
I'm pretty
Right.
sure they're gonna ask in this episode, but I've had two. You're the third dad.
Okay. Okay. I
You're the
thought I was,
third dad on here.
I'm the third dad. Okay. Okay. So I'm not I'm not a novelty. I was on another podcast and I was the first
You're
dad or
the no,
first
but
male.
no, but check this out. You're the first dad in 2026
Oh, this year.
this
Good.
year.
Okay.
So
Okay.
hopefully more dads start seeing this and be
Yeah.
like, just because you see a title and that's another thing. A lot of people see the title
Yeah.
and just run away because they think it's not for a single woman or a single man. And I still say to this day, regardless if you're listening to this, you don't have to be a mom, you don't have to be
Right.
a dad, because those are just roles that we have
Hmm.
as a mom and a dad. You can be a single woman and single man and still listen to a dad conversation on a mom's podcast and still get something out of it. Vice versa for a mom.
100%. I want to. If can I give you five? Can I give you five tips that I give all of my clients? Anybody
Yes.
with around the struggle of the juggle? Because I know
Yes.
that's what we were kind of got off on tangents, but it's all about the struggle of the juggle. Okay.
Yes.
So if you're listening to this, just grab. If you're driving, don't pull over. If you're driving, pull over. Okay. I'm like, police officer, pull over. And here, or rewind, listen to whatever you do. Um, Number one, okay, I'll go through this quick. And if people want to reach out, they can. I can give it to them again. Number one, get clear. And this is for you, Eric, as well. And it's for me. Number one, get clear on your why. Get clear on why you are doing what you were doing. Because if we're not clear on the why of our business, of our
Mhm.
life, of our career, if we're not clear on that, it's going to be really hard to fight through those days where you've got baby in one arm and the other kid you're feeding, and you've got to get to the office, or you have to get to
Mhm.
your desk, or you have to get to the business, or you have to do this or whatever, or your husband's waiting for this or whatever. Like, it's just, you're juggling everything.
Mhm.
Get clear on your why. Okay,
Okay.
I'm just going to go through that quick. It's so important. It's why you get up every day, and it's not just because I have a kid, or it's not just because of this.
The
What
true
is
purpose.
the true
Purpose
purpose?
behind the why.
The why behind the why.
The
It's like a
why.
seven. It's like a 7-layer dip. I love 7-layer dips. It's the why behind the why, 7 layers deep. Get really clear. Number one. But we don't have to be that complex. Just your why. Number two, I already talked about. Stop striving for balance, work-life balance. It ain't happening, my friend. It ain't happening.
It's just done.
Just let it go.
Just let it go.
Let it go. Okay.
Okay.
Again, so you have to be the leader, whether leader of your house, leader of
Mhm.
yourself, leader of your family, leader of your business, leader of your career. You're gonna have some days where you're working more, some days where you're at home more, some
Mhm.
days where you're like, hey, I got some time off. I'm gonna go get a massage. I'm gonna go hiking. I'm gonna go to the gym, whatever. I'm gonna go sleep, whatever it is.
Mhm.
Number two. Number three, stop doing everything. Stop doing everything yourself.
Hmm.
Ask for help.
Ooh, you hurt
I,
me. You hurt me right there. I'm just gonna tell you right now, I don't ask for help. And
Uh,
it's crazy. It's crazy that you say that because I teach my daughter to ask for help, but I don't sometimes ask it for myself.
okay,
Hmm,
I'm going to get to that.
okay. Don't hurt me.
I won't hurt you. I won't hurt you. I
Okay.
want you to learn to ask for help without the guilt. Because Erica, it takes a team.
Okay.
It takes a village. It takes a village, right? You're
Mhm.
not, you're awesome. You're not like Wonder Woman or Superwoman, Supermom. I mean, you can't do it all long term. You can't do it all by yourself and be fulfilled. You need help. It could be friends. It could be a mentor. It could be a coach or mentor.
Mhm.
It could be a parent, a babysitter, whatever. It could be just a friend, just a phone call, right? Reach out to people and ask for help.
But this is the problem with asking for
Why?
help.
Why? What? Tell
The
me.
problem with asking for help is when I ask for help, the rebuttal that I get is, well, you got a spouse. Why don't you ask him? Or,
Okay.
but that's frustrating.
Okay, but why don't you ask him?
Well, I do, but it's not like I ask for his help, but then I'm like, you're not getting it in time. Because my mind works a little fast. So
Okay.
he's like, for example, he's not tech savvy and I'm tech savvy. So if I say, hey babe, can you open up the laptop, put my pen in real quick, open up a web browser and try to get to my email, it takes him a little longer.
Okay.
Whereas, like, for example, he's a great cook and I can cook, but I'm not an excellent cook like he is. Like he can do chef level things. So he does all the cooking and we reverse our roles sometimes. Like
Mm-hmm.
sometimes we'll do 50-50. He'll get up with my daughter and he'll be like, hey, you need to relax, go to sleep. And then the next
Okay.
day I do the same thing. So he does help, but it gets frustrating when I'm just having some thoughts or if I'm having a rough day. I don't want to feed that bad energy onto him. And I want to be able to turn to my friends and be like, let me have a conversation. But now I'm creating these boundaries in 2026 because of, you want to know why? Let me tell you why, my friend.
All right. I'm
It's
listening.
because I've had friends that have required a lot from me, and I put that whole 100% in my friendships. Where, as if I'm requiring you the same thing, it's not coming back.
Mm.
So now I'm creating the boundary. And I'm kind of like, are you going to be here in February or do I need to cut you off? Probably going to cut you off in February.
Okay. I hear what you're saying. So first off, I want to the fact that you have a partner who is supportive,
Mm-hmm.
right, is great, and does the cooking and does this and whatever. That's great. So everyone in your life has to serve a purpose.
Okay.
This is called your inner circle, and this is a John Maxwell thing. It's the law of the inner circle. We need
Okay.
to surround ourselves with people who lift us up
Mm-hmm.
and encourage us when we need it most. And those
Mm-hmm.
people who don't, and we all have them, and sometimes they're family members, we need to distance ourselves enough and bring in
Mm-hmm.
other people and be intentional. What do I need? What am I missing? If I look at everyone in my life, what am I lacking? What am I missing from them?
Mm-hmm.
And find someone. It's almost like seriously, go on a mission and find someone who will give that to you. Sometimes, honestly, like for business owners, that's where
Mm-hmm.
they'll come to me. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
they pay me. I'm for hire, so to
Mm-hmm.
speak. They'll pay me to coach and mentor them and guide them and be there for them. Or an accountability partner works, or accountability group.
Mm-hmm.
Um, on the personal side, find take a course or find. Well, you're already doing school and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So you do that's enough. Enough of that stuff.
That's a
It's
lot
enough,
in itself. That's a lot in itself. And then
right?
they
So,
asked me to go for my master's. That's a
yeah,
lot.
that's
Yeah,
a lot.
that's a lot. Yeah.
Sometimes we just need to have the hard conversations with friends, right?
Mhm.
Because it needs to be two-way. And I know some friendships, if it's one way and they're always dumping their stuff on us and we're always there for them, and when we turn around and try to get support from them, they're not there. What are they serving? What kind of purpose are they serving? And that it's hard, but sometimes we do need to. It's February. I'm cutting you off in February
Yeah,
and
because
move on.
it's frustrating to
Yep.
have where I'm just like, I'm really having a rough day or a rough time or a rough week. And I want to have that reciprocated, but it's not. And I'm getting to the point where I go silent, like radio silent. And then that's when it's like, oh, well, Erica, I haven't heard from you since like March of last year. Where have you been? And I'm like, you see me on Facebook, you see me on TikTok, you see me on Instagram probably
Hmm.
because the podcast. You
Hmm.
have my phone number, but
Yeah.
you
It's
want me to give the call all the time. And sometimes
yeah.
I'm like, just give me the call. Give
Yeah.
me the text message. I shouldn't feel like I have to do it all the time.
Tell them that.
I have.
Okay. So if they're not going to listen, it's the same thing when as a business owner, okay, or even if well, a business owner if you have employees. Okay, you can lead a horse to water. You cannot make them drink. It's like being a parent. We do our best. I know your daughter's young. We do our best as a parent to
Mm-hmm.
lead our kids to water, but they ain't going to drink. There's only so much we can do. Now,
We have to
with
do it for themselves.
as a parent, sometimes you got to force them to drink because you don't want them to get dehydrated. But at some point, they go away to college, right? They're going to have to figure it out,
I'm not
right?
ready
Then
for that yet.
it comes fast. Trust me.
That's what everybody keeps saying. Like right now, like the
Yeah.
way that she's turning right now, the 8,
Yeah.
I'm heading for preteens. And
Oh my goodness, you're in for it.
that's what everybody keeps telling me.
Are you religious, faith-based, spiritual?
Yeah.
Good. You're going to need it.
Oh, okay. Because I
And
feel like she's going to get me when like
she's
she's
going
what,
to
13, 14. I
yeah.
pray that she doesn't, but I already see the attitude at
Yeah.
8.
Oh,
And
this
yeah, I'm not prepared for it. I'm not prepared for it. So what
yeah.
other tips do you have?
Okay.
So we got 1 and 2,
Okay. Well, I kind of gave 3 in there.
3. Okay.
So yeah, stop starving for balance, get clear in your why, stop, build an inner circle was a big one,
Okay.
right?
Build an
But
inner circle. Okay.
okay. So and then stop doing everything yourself and stop feeling guilty for asking for help. So if you are this part's more for the business owner, well,
Okay.
or even at home. Again, stop
Okay.
doing everything yourself. Okay, ask for help. That's where that comes in. Get
Mm-hmm.
help. Okay. You have a
Mm-hmm.
spouse, you have friends. In business, I do something called an energy audit. Focus on what you are really good at, focus on what energizes you, and the stuff that drains you, you get someone else. You automate or delegate.
Okay.
Okay. So that you can focus on building your business. I go into all that in much more detail, but for this sake, stop trying to do everything yourself. Um, and really the last one is to create boundaries.
So I'm
And
pretty
kind of
much nailing everything.
you did
Is
because
that
you
what you're
kind of
saying?
I
I'm
think so.
nailing. I
I'm
think
not.
I'm nailing everything.
It is.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. Because boundaries. You talked about that.
It's boundaries because, and that's the other thing. The other thing that probably with boundaries that I want people to understand a little bit before we wrap up, and you shouldn't get mad at the other person for creating healthy boundaries.
No, that
And I've
protects you
noticed
too.
that in some areas where I create the boundary and it's like, well, why are you all of a sudden doing this? And why is all of a sudden you didn't do this before? And I'm like, well, because I was young and dumb and I was 20
Hmm.
and now I'm mid 30s and I just don't have time for it anymore. I'm really getting to like, it's not like an anger level type, like anger level kind of thing, but I'm really getting to the point where I'm like, cut off.
Yeah.
No, I'm
Yeah.
done. I'm tired of
Yeah.
it.
Well, but the boundaries. Before we go, the boundaries. Okay. Yes, it's people boundaries. It's your spouse, it's your friends, it's your clients, it's your employer, it's
Mm-hmm.
your kids, your dog.
Mm-hmm.
Dogs aren't good with boundaries. At least mine's not. Okay. Or like 3-month-olds,
My
babies.
dog
They're
runs
not.
out every week.
However, biggest boundary I want to encourage everyone, you're probably going to
Mm-hmm.
know what to say here, everyone to look at is themselves. Boundaries with themselves. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Especially for business owners, the boundaries of letting everything and everyone get in their way, all the distractions, all the pings and dings of social media and all that kind of stuff. We need to set clear boundaries for ourselves. When it's go time and focus time, we do that, especially time is limited, especially if we have
Yeah.
kids.
You don't have a lot of time, and these times, it really, like you said, it comes in a blink of an eye, and it does come where, like I said, my daughter's 8, she'll be 18, and I want to enjoy as much of the ride with her, with graduation and proms, and I want to be here for a long time, like I always say, not for a short time. And one of the things that I've been trying to live by really is what my grandmother has instilled with me. And rest in peace to my grandmother, but she has instilled a lot in me. And one of the things, as I was thinking about today, because today is the day all of this happened with my grandmother, I was thinking about where she had this conversation where we were talking about how I said, "You're going to live for a long time." I was like, "You're going to live for a long time. You're going to be here forever, grandma. You're just going to live." And she sat down with me literally and was like, "There's going to come a time where I'm not going to be here, and you're going to look to your left and you're going to look to your right, and you're going to look for me. And you're probably not going to understand why you're looking for me." And I was like, "Nope, that's not true. You're going to be here forever. Like you're my best friend. You're going to be here. You're the love of my life. You're going to be here forever." And sure enough, on this day, a couple years ago, it happened. And when it happened for me, I screamed really loud and I cried. But she instilled in me saying that you need to start living and stop existing. And I can't, for the life of me, it kept playing in my head. And I was like, why do you keep saying that? But now that she's no longer here, I understand it now. For me to finally do the things that I want to do and do it scared, but do it in a way that I am living for myself and living for my kid. And I think this year has really opened up for me not to keep existing in everybody's path. And it's getting frustrating for other people because they're not understanding that I don't want to do what they want to do anymore. And I'm growing.
That's powerful. Too many people are existing. Too many people live what I call a happened to me life and not a created life. And that might sound all woo woo and all like whatever. But listen, we have one, it's like I don't even know if soap opera's still around. One life to live. I don't think it is. It used to be a big soap opera. We
I
have
think it
one.
still is
Is it
because
still around?
I think it still is at 11 because I still watch Young and the Restless.
Oh, I see
Side
it.
note,
It's fun. I used to watch Young and Restless in the 80s. Okay.
I love Young and the Restless.
What's that?
I
No.
love Young and the
I
Restless.
still watch it from time to time, and a lot of the characters are still there.
I know, but a lot
You
has
know,
changed. Like I gotta catch
I
up
know.
because a lot has changed.
But is Nikki and Victor married again?
I gotta catch up because
Yeah.
I don't like how they keep changing Lily.
Yeah, that's a newer one.
Keep changing her, and I want the old Lily. Like
Oh yeah,
just keep it as is. Some things you just can't need to,
I know.
like certain movies, certain time frames, leave it where it is at. Stop doing these remakes. For crying out loud. Stop making these remakes. Because the remakes are horrible than
Yeah, I
the
hear you.
actual original. Can we stop doing for 2026? Can we
Yep.
stop that?
So the only thing we're going to remake in 2026
Mm-hmm.
is ourselves.
Ooh, I like it. I think we left that on a good note. I think we should end the podcast right on that note. Mm-hmm.
I'm done.
I
Thank
think
you.
we finished it. So As we are wrapping up, I want to ask you something meaningful. What do you want the person that is listening right now, the one who feels exhausted, overwhelming, is really struggling with the juggling at this point, um, and pretty much feel like they're stretching this up thin? What would you want them to leave with this conversation with today?
It's time to remake themselves. I just came up with that one from the. Okay, I thought it did a nice segue. I would, I would, I would say, stop it. Okay, I'm open to having a conversation with them. I don't care where they're from, what walk of life they're from, business, no business, whatever. Reach out to me, can have a quick conversation. We don't have to live this juggling act constantly, right? What your grandmother said hit home. We have to make it happen. We have to make it happen. We have to stop letting other people dictate who we are, what we're going to live, what our life looks like. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Get support. Get support. That I would say the biggest thing is ask for help. Period. I'm going to ask for help.
Just ask for help. Period.
Just ask for help. Period. And stop feeling guilt. Ask for help. Stop feeling guilty. Ask for help. It takes a village. Boom.
And
done.
It takes a village to raise a kid, by the way, everyone.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, I know.
Village over here. Okay. So, as we're wrapping up this episode, I want you to leave a note on where everyone can find you, because I know you have an amazing podcast, and just have fun in life. That's what I want to leave on today's note. So let the listeners know where you can be found. And then I just have one more note to leave, and then we're done.
Me? You want to talk me? Okay. So you can find me. I talking to me. So my podcast, The Stern Truth. So you can go to thesterntruth.com. You can go on YouTube at Marshall Stern Leadership. You can watch them, or thesterntruth.com. You can also just connect with me on LinkedIn, on Instagram at Marshall Stern, or Facebook. I'm everywhere.
I'm following.
I think I might be following you too. And I'm not the Marshall Stern, okay, from Chicago, who's a comedian. Okay.
Everybody keeps.
I know. Okay, I'm not the comedian.
That's not it.
That's why. So my website's marshallstern.net, because I think the .com is some Chicago comedian with my name. He took my name. So yeah, you can find me. I'm not the comedian from Chicago. I'm the business growth coach from Canada.
Yes, and I need to come to Canada one day, because I have a friend, I think she's in Canada, and she's been on the podcast, and her name is Sam.
So I know her.
You know Sam? Oh,
Sam from Canada. Sam from Canada.
We got to talk after this. Okay. Well, I want to thank you so much for this conversation, your honesty, your perspective. This is one of those episodes that I know will resonate with so many people, whether you're a mom, again, a dad, a boss, dad or a boss mom. It doesn't matter what you are, really, honestly. To everyone listening, you are allowed to have your rest. You are allowed to have your boundaries being placed. You are allowed to say no when it doesn't feel right. And you're allowed to just live, laugh, and have fun for the rest of 2026, because I know I'm going to do that. Until next time, you don't have to juggle it all. You don't have to struggle it at all either. Thank you for coming again on the Balanced Boss Mom podcast. I'm your host, Erika. Please like, comment, and subscribe on wherever platforms that you may see. Follow me on YouTube, because I'm trying to get my YouTube up, y'all. I'm trying to get the YouTube up. So follow me, like, comment, share, and bye, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.